In a bed looking out high over the California coast, he lay still. His family was gathered there, celebrating his life's legends of adventure and toasting to this resting sailor as he prepared to cast off for a new frontier. He was silent, unable to respond, as his soul was diving leagues within, far below the surface to be heard by us now. It was up to the ones that stood on the dock and the shore to tell his tales. They said it was a journey full of storms and sacrifices, one of healing and signs of good weather ahead. Here and now, I look on out from an open bow, and I feel just like I did back in those days. Pacific coast, calling me back like a holy ghost, so raise your glass and hold a toast to ocean spray, to sun and rain. It was peaceful to be present there that day. Though it was in a hospice room in a veterans hospital, there was an air of loving admiration in that room. This man lay there, eyes closed, hands folded, breathing and listening. The family had brought memoirs he had written about his adventures at sea and life lessons he received and shared through the storms, not only on the ocean, but also in his shore-bound life. We spent hours at the bedside speaking of this man's virtues, until his family gave me a stack of his letters and essays, excited for the melody that would rise to meet it. They hoped that the song would be finished before he departed for his next adventure. A story began to materialize as I studied his written words. He was a young man from the open plains of the Midwest who'd never seen the ocean before. His first time standing on the Pacific shores was something that changed him forever. As he squinted out into the endless misty expanse of the horizon, he swore that he could see the faint outlines of lands he'd only heard stories about. At 18 years old, this boy made up his mind to join the Navy. He marched into the recruiting office, signed his name on the dotted line, and committed to a forward trajectory that took him far beyond where he ever expected to go. He remembered putting on his Dixie cup hat, his Navy uniform, and feeling like a new man as he embarked through the golden gates to this new world. He said that those sunsets at sea were the finest he'd ever seen. He specifically recalled how this premier adventure held a raw fascination. He simply had no idea what to expect. It was all so wonderfully new. One day as he was out on long open waters, a storm came that lasted for several days without ceasing. He strapped himself in the bolted radio operating chair so that he wouldn't be thrown against the walls of the rocking boat. It felt like it would never end, and he even feared that the ship would sink and drown them all alive. It was a boiling ocean with clouds as thick and black as charcoal that didn't show any signs of calming. Then, gracefully and suddenly, the waters cooled and the skies cleared. He popped his head above deck and he couldn't believe his eyes. He saw these crackling green lights dancing in the sky. It was the atmospheric phenomenon called St. Elmo's fire, said to be a blessing to sailors, a promise of safety at sea after surviving a fierce storm. He took it as a sign that they were in good hands and had nothing to fear as they continued their journey. As he ran multiple tours all around the world at sea, he recalled not one of them being so magical as that first departure, as the element of the unknown was something so perfectly key to the fascination. He adjusted to domestic life after his adventures of travel and struggled with the tumultuous navigation of discovering who he was and who he was to become. Though he and his family suffered some damage through the process, he eventually came to find a deep purpose in recovery and in service to others who suffered through the same storms as he did. This became his new mission in life as he worked to heal the wounds of the inner battles. As he neared the end of his road, the effect of his loving efforts were evident. He was surrounded by love as he prepared for this next journey. The great unknown waited beyond this mortal chapter. I imagined his heart's present reality as he dipped his toes in the waters of a new shore, one of total mystery. I wrote him the song St. Elmo's Fire to remind him of that curious young boy he used to be, and surely still was in many ways. Naturally, there would be some rough waters as he made his transition, but I hope that he heard this song, he and his family would remember the familiar glow of a wild and wonderful light that beckoned him safely forward as he set back out to sea. We arranged for the day to present the song to him and his family at bedside, and as a surprise to all, he woke up. He listened, received the moment with open eyes. I was grateful to have the opportunity to shake his hand and wish him well on the course ahead. He passed away not long after, and I had the honor of singing his song in memorial on the USS Midway ship. We all looked out to the open waters and thought fondly of that sailor that saw so much of this world and was now exploring far beyond the shores that we all knew. It is a graceful reminder that there is loving guidance wherever we are in the journey of life. All storms pass with time. When they come, we just need to batten down the hatches and trust that the light will come again to deliver us all safely home. With the curious wonder of a child, may we all be so excited for the next step in our adventures.
Seattle shoals, dipping my feet back at 18, wondering where those waves were born and what they'd seen. Dreams were wild, so in love with the rising smile, squinting my eyes to see the eyes of misty greens calling. Dotted line had dialed me up, trading my clothes for the Dixie cup and a sweet canteen. Golden gates to brand new worlds where I would play, where the sun sets in those days where at sea were the best I'd seen. Still don't know why it came to me, but I could see some Elmo's fire. This little child I used to be, heading out to sea. How my joy of the journey burns, still I can't find a perfect word to tell you plain. Coming back, the storm would throw down a lightning crack, a charcoal cloud was burning black on a boiling wave for 3 long days. But I could see some Elmo's fire, still don't know why it came to me, but I could see some Elmo's fire. That little child I used to be, way out at sea. Here and now, look on out from an open bow, and I feel just like I did back in those days. Pacific coast calling me back like a holy ghost, to raise her glass and hold a toast to ocean spray, the sun and rain. And I can see St. Elmo's fire, still don't know why it came to me, but I can see St. Elmo's fire. This little child, as free as he can be, heading back to sea.